What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Tacobout. We have a 24 350 Exc-F that's been set up for great all-around trail use bike. This machine's going up to Montana, where the rider is going to be hitting some single track, double track, farm roads, all kinds of different terrain up there. And so he wanted a really broad use all-around bike, and this is what he's got. So let's start up with the front wheel. He's got the Moto traction anter. This is the ST, and it's the 9100 size. So this is what you may call like a fatty tire. There's an 80 size, which is going to have a little shorter sidewall, a little thinner front profile, and that tire is with this particular size, you get a little more meat, and it offers a little more comfort and trail holding, especially if you're riding a lot of rocky terrain and doing rock bashing. This tire will be very good for that. The wheel weights, because we balance all our tires, even with tubes. This bike has a standard tube in it. It may be a heavy duty, I think it's a heavy duty tube. And even with heavy duty tube, we still balance out all of our wheels, every bike, every time. Got the fork gators here to keep the mud and debris off the stanchions. And then the fork shrinks. These are really nice aesthetic covers for the forks. Up on the front, there's a ruby headlight. Great all around. Probably, we say this all the time, single favorite all-arounder light. It does everything pretty well. And then that's mounted in a Moto-minded bracket. And that kicks that gives you the ability to kick the light up and down as you need to, depending on trail conditions. On the lighting here, we have Tacomoto. These are the flex fork signals, or flex front signals rather, and those move around. Looking at the cockpit, steering stabilizer. We put a little knob on here. It's a little Tacomoto traction knob. If you have wet gloved hands, it allows you to get on that knob just a little bit easier. This is the Trail Tech Voyager Pro, and then it's mounted to a Mako 360. And then this is the Tacomoto bracket adapter that lets you put that all together. And there's a Moto-minded tilt wedge back in there that kicks the whole unit up, so it's biased towards the rider. You'll see that we have the hose here going into a little connector into the drain for the frame, and then OD Row grips. These are the Highway Dirt Bikes bar guards, integrated mirrors. That's a great combination setup. And because you end up sometimes with the limited ability with the Mako 360, one of its disadvantages is you can't use, there are not many options for mounting brackets, bar guard brackets to this. And so you use some type of clamp that clamps to the bars here away from the body of the unit itself. And you can see how that was accomplished there. We have our Tacomoto brake guide here. This is the clamps that take the brake hose and then anchor it in place so it doesn't move around and harm anything that's up on the bars. And you see how that works there. STR carbon fiber front rotor guard. TM Design Works on the lug guards. These are the Emperor Racing radiator guards, and they're true radiator guards. Front, bottom, sides, all the way around, and it's bridged. So incredibly stout. Let's see, this is the Acerbis. I think this is the 3.6 fuel tank, and then the C Concepts. This is the XL size with the ribbing on there. It looks great, super grippy top, and the wide platform is really nice for sitting sections on trails and longer rides. Go on for the fuel filter. Here you'll see this is the SAE cord for charging. And then in here, you'll see that we have the Tacomoto. These are our double fuse, the fuses here for the power distribution block. And then back over in there, you'll see there's a starting capacitor. We have a PC Racing filter gasket here. And then there's a filter skin on top of that. And that's the stock air filter underneath that as well. This sticker right here is for the Wi-Fi. That's the Wi-Fi password on the Get ECU system. That's up here under the seat. So we have the Get, and let me show you here. This has the LED map switch, and with that we have dual map functionality, quick shift, as well as traction control. We get 10 modes of traction control adjustability on that, and that is all integrated into the bike. and it works incredibly well. And that's paired with the Graves muffler. DB insert in, so the DB killer is left in. We prefer that. When you take that out, there's not much to be gained in terms of power, a lot of sound. So that is our preferred setup with that Get, and a Graves is a great combination. The Get pairs well with a Moto end cap or an Acro full system or an Acro slip-on or the Yoshi, any of the aftermarket exhausts. The reason we don't pair it with the stock exhaust is it has an 80% obstruction end cap, and the muffler is good. So like the stock muffler with a Moto end cap is a great combo, but not that stock end cap itself. You can see over here on this side that we have the Samco radiator hoses upgrades with the thermostat retained, and there is a little heat guard that's over the top of that radiator hose as it goes across the exhaust manifold molecule skid plate. Tacomoto on the oil cap right here. Now the suspension has been resprung and redone, and specific to this rider's weight, and there's an X-Trig on here which will allow him to very quickly and easily adjust the preload for the rear shock. So if you throw some bags on there and he's going to go do some overlanding, he'll be able to kick some preload into that spring really easily. You'll see here that we've got heat shielding on the muffler pipe on this header, on this mid pipe here, as it transits by the shock, and that keeps all that heat from being absorbed into the shock. Cross-link components on the swing arm guards. These are super stout. They are the most robust you're going to get on any of the swing arm guards. So there's some advantages to this. You will never say never, but it'd be really impossible to see the time of poking a hole, doing some damage to the swing arm itself because of how thick and durable these things are. These are lifetime guards. I like how these bolts are recessed. They anchor here. There's a little stainless steel plate that comes in and grabs onto the axle adjusting bolt here, and then they go all the way around the back. They have a big old beefy zip tie here, so they're just really, really strong and stout. There's a weight penalty that you pay for that, and that's about it. So other than weight, they do a great job. If you just are looking for something a little lighter, there are other options, but in terms of the product quality, product durability, this is a great option. And then we have a STR shark fin here. This has got an UHMW replaceable, and so does the front. The front does this too, but this is rebuildable, replaceable, and that's a great shark fin, minimal weight. Rear tire back here, this is the Moto's Tractionator 130 size. This is the IT version. Again, counterbalanced on the weights, and then he's running tubes on this. Let's see if there's anything else underneath that seat. Anti-gravity 8 cell. That's the best battery that you're going to get in one of these bikes. And stock gearing was retained. Dome washer, Dirt Tricks dome washer. That's for reliability in terms of helping to prevent possible oil leaks out of the seal there, primary sprocket seal. And then graphics. This is a Tacomoto in-house design. Oh, as we go by here, this is an Enduro plate, flexible license plate protection system, and then that's the Tacomoto turn signal. That's the tidy tail, so that's run, brake, and turn all in one. And then up here, maybe just to finish out with the electrical, we have the tidy tail combo kit, and so it comes with the new control switch, and this allows you off, and that's the killer app with this, is you can turn the headlight off, high, low, and your high beam light no longer comes on when you have an LED conversion, and that is all integrated together and plug and play set up. And then on the graphics, that is a full and complete Tacomoto in-house design and install, and we do graphics for both custom builds, but also on our website you'll see that we have ready to go designs that you can choose from, and you can take them as they are or do any mods to them, and we are pretty flexible about how that program works. You can just shoot us an email if you have any questions about it. So that's a wrap on this bike. It's headed up to Montana, I think today. I think a driver is coming to get it, and these, you know, we've mentioned this before, but we work with riders in any state. We work with riders in any country. We've got a great guy that we're working with from Portugal. We have a guy from England, plenty of people globally that we work with and take care of, and all out of our Las Vegas base. We can source a brand new bike. We do dyno break-ins, we do power runs. This bike, in case you're interested, made 48 horsepower. That is a new all-time record for us on a 350 platform. The previous generation bikes were averaging around 36 at the wheel. And then these 24s, noticed a nice little bump in power. This one just under 48, so it's like 49 and some change, or I'm sorry, 47 and some change. So on a good day, you could call it 48. That's exciting and impressive. And this bike runs so good. It is clean, it is fast, it is a really incredible machine. And so the 350, I've said this before, but I really think that the 350 is the single best all around, most usable, most widely adaptable bike of any of the classes. You can specialize. The 450 has some merits, the 500 has merits. 500 is a personal favorite of mine, but I do not always recommend the 500 for every rider every time. More often than not, it's the 350. So this is just a killer machine, fabulous setup, fantastically fun. This bike is gonna be well used, well loved, and it's gonna make this owner really happy. So if you would like us to help you spec out a bike, do graphics, do a build, we can also do a build in a box. So maybe you want to put a bike like this together with our parts and our specialties and our expertise, but do it at your house because you're a DIY mechanic and you have the tools, capabilities, time to do the work yourself. Then we can arrange to ship you a build in a box. We're happy to work with you any old which way that meets your needs. So reach out anytime, like, subscribe, go out, get some adventure.